Welcome. How is everyone? It's Nights with Ping, early morning ping, apparently. Exciting news out of Melbourne, Victoria, or actually just Victoria. It's not Melbourne. Uh, Erin Patterson has been arrested. We'll get to it in a second. Let me set up everything and make sure I'm not getting any feedback from this other video. Marilyn later says, we don't have to ask about the case anymore. No, you do not. Not today. All right, let me get all set up and I'll say hello to everyone in the chat. Let me get you guys some information. Here we go. There she is. The woman of the hour, apparently. Erin Patterson. All right. Guys, how are you? Good to see you. It's a bit of a weird day. We are trying to get everything done early because I wanted to get this news out as soon as possible. You can see my chair piled with crap that I've got to move. Katie Williams says, glad they arrested Erin Patterson. Yes, we'll go into it more in a second. I wanted to say hello to everyone. Honey Bun was here earlier. Nana Lana. Kazati. I always call it Kazatia because it sounds better, but it's Kazati. Diane is here. Marilyn Landis. Laura T. What else have we got? DJ's here. Hey, DJ. Kelly is here. Hey, Kelly Dragon. Good to see you. My own children have lost their grandmother. Kelly in Texas is here. Hey, how are you? Tell us a bit more about Candy Williams. Woos is here. Fluffy Muffin. Mel Mack. What I can tell you. I hope I didn't miss anyone. All right, that's all right. Is that I just can't fathom. Who is that talking? Is there talking in my background? What is could be a video. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll mute it. That Ian and Heather have lost their lives, and Gail has lost her life, and Donna's still in hospital. And I pray that he pulls through, because my children. All right, figured it out. It was the video on this page. Started playing this one up the top. See? Bloody videos. It's also this. There we go. Nope. There we go. I can hear my audio again now. I hate when it does that. When I plug my mic in, it switches my audio over to the microphone as my speaker. I have no idea why. And then I can't hear anything playing in the background. But now I can hear it, and I turned it off. So there we go. Good to see everyone. Let's get into it. And it says here, Erin Patterson, the woman at the center of an alleged deadly mushroom poisoning scandal that killed 3 people in Eastern Victoria, has been arrested. Victoria Police confirmed homicide squad detectives had arrested Miss Patterson shortly after 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. That was about 3 hours ago. A Victorian police spokesman confirmed a search warrant had been executed at Miss Patterson's Gibson Street address with the assistance from AFP's technology detector dogs. We'll get to that in a second. The woman will now be interviewed by police and the investigation remains ongoing. No charges have been laid. Miss Patterson cooked a beef Wellington dish which is alleged to have contained deadly death cap mushrooms on July 29th, served it to 4 people at a lunch at her home. 3 people died, 1 person survived, and we sort of know the story up until now. We've all seen the 60 Minutes episode, we've seen the Body Bags podcast on it, and this is really the first major break in the case since August, maybe even, July. We haven't known much since, like, the first week in August was, like, when the news sort of turned off, and this is really, really massive news. And I was thinking to myself, what am I going to tell you guys other than she's been arrested? But I think this is really important. This bit here, AFP's technology detected dogs. Now, I wonder if they're going to look for, one, computers, devices, tablets. But I wonder if they're going to look at whether she's been following the coverage, whether she's been, keeping up on the podcasts and, the different newspaper articles and things like that. Sprinkle donut. Breaking news. Yeah. I'm Steve Lookner. Breaking news. Uh, it is breaking news, and I'm very excited about it. I really wanted to see this case progress. I felt like it had been so long, 2 months without any 2 or 3 months without any solid updates. And finally, this morning, they have arrested Erin. Now, I have a theory on what I think is going to happen. They will take her back for questioning, and I think they will use the time frame against her, the 2-month gap in this investigation. They're going to say, Erin, we've had 2 months now to have a bit of a think about all the details surrounding what happened. We're not going to accept, I don't remember. I don't, I can't figure it out. Stuff like that, or, no non-answers. And they're going to use that time frame against her because she's had a long time to think about where she bought the mushrooms, how did it happen, this and that. And I believe the police will use that against her in the questioning. And I actually think that depending on how that questioning goes, we might see some charges later today. It tends to be like this, and they tend to question people for like the whole day, and then late at night or in the afternoon, we may see charges announced, if depending on how that questioning goes. Yeah, Wu says, and here we were saying last night that there was nothing new. They must have heard me. The Victorian police heard me, and they're like, "Well, we can't let this guy be right about anything. So let's do the big thing tomorrow." Let me just have a look. Hey Nancy S, good to see you. Laura T, Diamond Hearts here. Sprinkle Donut, Sprinkle Donut. Um, Paygirl's here. Hey Paygirl, good to see you. Mel Max says it's been so long. Likely her storyline will be, yeah. I I definitely think that she's gonna have to come up with better answers than I can't remember. They really will go after her and say, so this is the other thing. I don't believe they would have done this today unless they have a solid piece of knowledge that they think they can trap her with. I think they must have something that they want to see what her reaction to it is when they question her. Like I've seen this in a lot of police interviews where they don't ask questions unless they know the answers to them first. And I think they may know the answer to something that they want to see what she has to say. So yeah, Kelly Dragonborn, those dogs can sniff out micro SD cards. Yes, I find that really an interesting bit of information about this case that they brought in those very specific trained dogs from the Australian Federal Police, which is sort of like the Australian FBI. That's who, or would they be more like the Australian Homeland Security? I think more like the FBI, but they sort of do like they're federal police. So if that's the same as the FBI, yeah, it is. They're the federal US police. So they came from the basically the FBI of Australia. Hey, Paygirl says, good to see you too. Everyone, sorry I've been MIA. Well, I hope you've been okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm very interested to see what information comes out about these tech sniffing dogs. Says here, with assistance of the AFP's technology detector dogs. I reckon they might be looking to see whether she had a plan or responses to questions that she thinks police might ask her, something like that. Maybe she's been practicing, like, for the interview, because she must know that she was gonna get interviewed again. That statement she released, like, a month or 2 ago, they're not gonna buy that. They want her on record in a police station, under, under video recording, that type of thing, with the witnesses to what she's saying, so it can be used in a court of law too. Uh, Marilyn Anders says something on a computer. Yeah, I think it could be a few things. Like I do think they want to know whether she's been following the coverage. Now, you might say that's natural when you're at the center of such a big thing, but I think we've seen in some other cases where people get too involved and they're constantly on web sleuths or they're on Reddit, they're on podcasts, they're here and there and they're watching every little thing to make sure people aren't getting too close to the truth. And yeah, yeah. Oh, you guys want to see Erin? Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's Erin. She's also on the thumbnail too. That exact photo, I think, is on the thumbnail. There's not that many photos of her. Hold on, let me close this down. Let me see if I can grab another link because there was a little bit more information in another paper. Herald Sun always has like a debrief version. Is it The Age? Let's have a look. Says homicide detectives arrest mushroom cook Erin Patterson over fatal lunch. Homicide detectives have arrested Erin Patterson. Yep, we know that. A source with knowledge of the case confirmed Patterson had been arrested and taken to Wonthaggi police station for questioning. Very interesting. I didn't know if they'd take her there or to St Kilda Road. St Kilda Road is where Major Crimes is in Victoria, and I'm surprised they didn't take her to St Kilda Road head office for questioning. But okay, Wonthaggi. There's a photo of I guess everyone in looks like plain vehicles too. They didn't bring out the you know, the cars with all the police all over it. They brought out the plain vehicles. There's a bit of a timeline here. Yeah, you can see the gap here. Look, August 14th. That's it. And then the next update, November 2. So just almost 2 months. Not just shy, 10 days, 10 or 12 days short. In a statement, Victorian police said homicide detectives had arrested a woman on Thursday as part of their investigation into the deaths of 3 people following an incident in Leongatha earlier this year. Police said the 49-year-old Leongatha woman had been arrested at her home shortly after 8 a.m. A search warrant had been executed at the Gibson Street address with assistance from the AFP's technology dogs. Let me open this link and see what it is. So apparently, if we go here, it says here, and they would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling dogs. If the greatest asset of an investigator is the capacity to sniff out key evidence, then Georgia the Black Labrador may be Australia's greatest detective. Here she is. There's a photo of her. Oh, I can't read it. But they're saying this is what they there you go. There's one of those technology sniffing dogs. Rough. Good girl. Sniff out all the mushrooms. Um it says here the woman will now be interviewed by police. I this could go on for hours and hours. I've seen people interviewed in Victorian police for 18 hours, 24 hours, 2 days before they have enough and, apply charges. It says here Patterson has strenuously denied wrongdoing and said she could not explain how the meal caused the group's illness and death. I, you know, I don't believe that for a second, nor do I believe her. You know, I bought it from some Asian grocery store in Melbourne that I can't remember because I have some sort of like, memory illness that is not diagnosed and no one has ever heard of before. Yeah, and this bit here too. But the police statement also included a confession from Patterson that she had intentionally disposed of a food dehydrator found in a skip bin at the Koonwarra transfer station. In a statement, she claimed she had panicked and dumped the appliance after she said people started accusing her of intentionally poisoning the meal. What, did you think they weren't going to, you know, accuse you of poisoning people after 3 people died? What did you think people were going to say? Oh, that happens. No worries. Patterson's 2 children were also at the gathering on July 29th but did not fall ill. Investigators interviewed Patterson in the days after the deadly lunch but released her without charge. I'll be surprised if this time they release her without charge. I really will. Let's have a look. I don't know if we can use that. Give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to see what people are saying. Moonlight View says, I bet you didn't have any trick or treaters. No, they'd be afraid they'd get mushrooms. Yeah, I think that the line of questioning will be, where did the mushrooms come from? How come you and your kids didn't die and didn't get deadly sick? And explain to us every step of preparing the meal, where you bought all the ingredients, and if you can't explain to us where you bought these things, we're just going to assume you're lying. Because what else can they assume, really? Marilyn Landis said she'll break. I think so too. I think 14 hours in a police station, she'll eventually cough it up. They'll probably use one of the techniques. I still think they're going to use that rope technique where they basically spin you in a circle and make you walk into your own lie. And I think that's why they arrested her today, because they have that piece of information that they want to test on her. So it might be like, I don't know, like, where did you buy the mushrooms? Maybe they know where she got them from now. And then she'll be like, oh, I got them from an Asian supermarket in Melbourne, but I can't remember where that was. And they'll be like, well, due to some sort of testing we did after these people died, we figured out they came from, the Gippsland region and they can't come from anywhere else. Can you explain how that would be, Erin? Something like that. So they can walk her into her own lying. Woos says, I still reckon she made 2 beef Wellingtons, gave the poisonous ones to the people that died. Yeah, I that's my theory too. I 100% think it's something like that, because how come they were the only ones to get deathly sick? And then I think what happened is she may have had like a tiny bit of it to make herself like just a little sick so she could go to the hospital, but didn't eat enough that she would get like really, really, poisoned by it. Just enough so she could say, "Oh, I was in hospital too for like 12 hours." But it's not enough to be, poisoned completely. Yeah, I think that's a good theory, Woos. I really do. Woo says, lucky her ex-husband cancelled. I wonder if she had any any doubts about going if allegedly she did do something like nefarious. I wonder if she had any doubts about going through with it because the ex-husband wasn't going to come. And I wonder if she was trying to get him at the time. I don't know. Insightful one. Hey, how are you? Finally. Yeah, I know. It's been like 2 months. Yeah, I'll try and look it up. Hold on. Let's see if we have another bit more information on this. It's very early days right now. I would suspect probably by tonight we'll know a little more. But I wanted to get on and tell you because I kept saying as soon as I know it, I'll jump on and talk to you guys. But let's see if the Daily Mail has something, because they always have. Here we go. They do have an article. Of course they do. Oh, here. Detectives are painstakingly picking apart the home of Erin Patterson after she was arrested over the poisonous mushroom meal that led to the death of 3 people. What the hell? Police were arrested at the home in Leongatha. Oh, no, sorry. Patterson was arrested at her home in Leongatha, Eastern Victoria, at about 8 a.m. on Thursday. No charges have been laid. Here, forensic experts have been spotted rifling through a crowded garage attached to the home and combing through the interior of her red MG ZS SUV in the property's driveway. Detectives have also brought in specially trained technology detector dogs that can sniff out USB memory cards and SIM cards to help scour the property. There's a little bit of a video here of the raid. Let's have a look. Uh, I wonder if there's Vicpol out there. They're probably gone now, but I'll have a look.
Well, if you break the law, somebody's got to
Don't
find
do
out what you
that.
did, and that's what they're doing.
I'm just having a look to see if there is a helicopter over her address. Hold on. What was that street address again? Hold on, let me just find that street address. Hey, hey! Stupid thing. Hate those stupid, where is that coming from? Stop. I hate those stupid, videos that play, like, during articles. They drive me insane. I wish there was a way you could block them completely. Gibson Street. Here we go. Okay. I just wanna see where this address is on the map so I can just hold on. Okay, over here. No, I don't see a helicopter over her address right now, actually. Not right now. There is another helicopter somewhere else, but I don't think it's related. It's out in Gembrook. It's probably was hours ago, so it may have left by now. Okay. Nope, no helicopter over her address right now. Although you can hear one in that footage. They definitely had Vicpol in the air at the time. Or it could have been a news station as well. It says here, technology detected dogs have been supplied by the AFP who say they can find storage devices such as USB, hard drives and mobile phones, storage devices and SIM cards. I wonder how they do that. The dogs are considered to be the most elite of all sniffer dogs and capable of sensing the microns thin coating that protects computers' circuit boards. Wow. Their noses are so sensitive they can track down tiny SIM or memory cards buried in walls or even hidden in fruit. 5 cars, including Miss Patterson's, were parked in the driveway on Thursday morning. Miss Patterson's empty bins remain uncollected outside her property. Her arrest comes after Pastor Ian Wilkinson was said to be helping homicide detectives with the investigation following his release from hospital on September 23rd. And the police believe the symptoms of the 4 diners experienced were consistent with the effects of eating death cap mushrooms. And then it just goes on about a stupid uh, statement she gave to police. Yeah, no, if anyone knows how to stop those stupid videos from autoplaying, let me know, because they drive me crazy when I'm doing a live show. Then you got like 50 tabs open, you got to find them and be like, which one is playing the noise? Hold on, let me jump back into the chat. What are you guys saying? Moonlight View says, I wonder if she really went to hospital. I do believe she did go to hospital. I think they've got records of that, so that would be a really bad lie to tell because the police could just go to the hospital and be like, "Was she here? Did you give her that liver protection drug? Blah blah blah." Wouldn't be that hard to find out. Yeah, but Wooz, we don't know if that's actually true. Um, Woo says the reason she got rid of the food dehydrator was because of ex-husband saw it and said, "Is that what you poisoned them with?" Yeah, but we don't know if that's her reasoning or just a story she made up. Sienna says, "Would it make a difference if she dehydrated the mushrooms or not, or just cook with them?" I think that 60 Minutes documentary said it didn't really matter, but I'm not 100% sure. I think they said as long as it was put into the food and rehydrated, it was probably still pretty poisonous and it would kill someone. What does Woo say? Hey, Kibby. Hey, how are you? Mel Max says a strange hubby knew she was capable of some sort of cray-cray stuff. Yeah, I fully believe he had some sort of like, you know, gut feeling that something like she was hurting people because he really didn't want anything to do with her. Even after he got sick, he was very, from everything that's out in the media, it seemed like he was very wary of her. So I don't know if maybe he picked up on some things while they're in the relationship together. I don't know, but yeah, very interesting. Guys, give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I'm trying to fix the microphone. Um, Nanalana says, right, he was ill at one time. Only a year ago, he had a serious stomach illness too. Yeah, I didn't know. I knew they had electronics sniffing dogs, but I didn't know they were that good. Like they could do SIM cards or, you know, stuff like that. Um, hey Diamond Heart, good to see you. I think that's probably all the information we're going to get at least for a little while. I just don't think we're going to get. Hold on. Apparently, some mother in Australia said that some lady put rat poison in the trick or treat bags of her kids, but whatever. I don't believe it. Um, Let me just check something out. I wonder if we can get anything else. Yeah. It is interesting. Why today, Why today of all days? I think that'll be there's a picture of that dog. I don't know if that's the same one or it looks like the one in the photo we had before, but all Labradors sort of look alike. There you go. It's interesting they brought in plain like detective cars. They didn't bring any like police cars with police insignia on it. Just plain undercover, just rocking up, make no scene type of thing. There is another story I want to talk about because this is about all the information we're going to get from this until later today. Um, is this a different link? Hold on. Oh, it's just an update. Here we go. It just says she's been arrested. It says specially trained police technology detector dogs have finished at the scene now. Its handler was seen placing it into a steel kennel in the back of the police chute shortly after 11 a.m. So they look like they're wrapping up for the day. What took place during the fatal meal? Yeah, homicide squad just saying they arrested someone. And then cops raid her home. Yeah, as you can see, look at all those cars. There's not one police car that we can see. You can see a detective. Oh, there he is. The dog searching around the home. Find all her SIM cards. And then he's getting put back in his crate like a good boy. Okay. There is another story I want to bring to you while we are here. Let me grab it. It's really, really important and it is quite interesting if I can find it. Here we go. I was supposed to do it yesterday and I forgot. So here we go. Crown Towers, Perth. A top barrister is killed in her hotel room. And it says here Alice Rose McShearer's body was found in a suite at Crown Towers in Perth at about 11 a.m. on Monday after the 34-year-old was allegedly beaten to death with a blunt object by her boyfriend, Cameron John Pearson. Pearson 42, fronted Perth Magistrates Court on Tuesday morning charged with murder. On Wednesday, his sister Jessica Pearson had tears in her eye when she told Daily Mail Australia the situation was awful, but explained her family did not want to comment on the tragedy. It can now be revealed that Miss McShearer and Pearson had been together since January when she represented him during a custody battle. And there's the sister, I guess, being interviewed at a door by Daily Mail. There's a photo of the victim, Alice Rose McShearer. McShearer? She was found in a suite at Crown Towers in Perth. She was a top barrister, did a lot of legal work for a living, quite well known in WA apparently. Miss McSherrer's boyfriend did not want to be identified. Miss McSherrer's friend, who did not want to be identified, told Daily Mail Australia the little girl had been in the hotel room with the couple in the hours before McSherrer's death. Wait, what? What little girl? Oh, must have been Pearson's daughter, because he was in a custody battle. And then it just jumps to saying there was a little girl in the hotel room. She explained the couple were holidaying together in Tasmania in September before they had a huge fight and broke up. The friend did not know what their argument was about, but said Pearson did stay away for a while. The couple, however, rekindled their relationship in October when she asked him to help her move house. On Thursday last week, they checked into Crown Towers ahead of a gala hosted by the WA Law Society, which was held on Friday night. On Sunday, Pearson had custody of his daughter, according to the friend. The couple returned the child to her grandparents at 5 p.m., went back to the hotel, and Miss McSherrer wrote her last Facebook post. There's a photo of the guy and the daughter, Cameron John Pearson, and there's the Crown Towers. She says, spending the night before my next surgery drinking Dom, watching old DVDs and loving life. That was her last Facebook post. Hotel staff found her body on Monday morning. Mr. Pearson was taken to hospital with what are believed to be self-inflicted wounds before he was charged with murder. The friend said Miss Pearson's parents are devastated. He appeared in court on Tuesday supported by his family. That's the last Facebook post she made. And you can see that looks like a cot, right? That's for like a small child to sleep in. Definitely a cot. So that is proof that the child was probably there. There's a photo of her at a gala or something. Really sad. And these are all the people on her side of the family. These are all her family members, I believe. But apparently supporters of both people were at the court on Monday. But I wanted to bring that to you because I totally forgot to do it last night. And I wanted to make sure we covered it because that's really bizarre and very sad. Another DV related murder of a woman. All right, let me have a look here. Don't know. DV. I guess we'll find out at some point. Hey, Melmac. Melmac says they've been listening in on your show and the billion questions you've been asked about the mushroom lady. I know, right? They're just coming in here and stealing all my game plans. They'll probably use my game plan to get her. Two broke. Two broke says thank you for the update. Yeah, I'll probably come back on when there's more information. If there's ever charges laid, I'll come back. so my throat doesn't go crazy. But I will. I don't know. We got a little bit of time. I can do a couple more stories if you guys want to hang around. I know Trish will be on in about an hour and a half. So if you want to do a couple more, we can. And then I probably wouldn't come on later in the day. I'll probably leave it for today since we did such an early show. Let me see. A couple more. We can do that. I just wish I had more information about Erin, but I guess that's pretty good information that she's been arrested. Let's see what the Guardian has to say before we just go off this topic. Yeah, nothing really. Same information, just that she's been arrested. Not much more. Just trying to see if there's any more kind of like relevant information for you guys. It is interesting that they've got some sort of you know, those dogs, they're there for a reason. That's what it says here too. It says here, they are there for a purpose. This is not speculation. They will be there looking for something like a mobile phone, a SIM card, or a memory disk. So there must be something that the police want, or they know she has. Maybe she's got a burner phone or or a burner SIM card. Maybe she collaborated with someone. I don't know. What? Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I got a message. I just want to deal with this. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Insightful one. Is that okay if I say that on the air? You can just say yes or no in chat. Oh, okay. You guys. Yeah. Okay. Someone already said it. Okay. Trish is not doing a show tonight, so you guys have me. I guess we'll just hang out and I'll do a show for another hour then. Insightful one. I can't be trusted anymore. I can't be trusted with any secrets. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed any secrets while on air anymore. All right. Well, then I'll just continue doing the show for tonight. I guess this will be the impromptu. Well, actually, we have a choice. I can kill this live show, and I can make another live show on Web Sleuths in an hour, and we can go again, or we can just continue from here. You guys let me know what you prefer. So we can either come back at 10:30 and I'll make a new live show on Web Sleuths, and we'll do an entire show, hour and a half, and I'll run the show like normal, like Trish would normally do it, or we can just kind of continue on here for another bit, and that'll be your show for tonight. Nana says, "Oh, the ponytail story." Yeah, look, it was unfortunate. It really was. Trish had emailed me the photo, and I was half asleep because she's like, come on the live, Insightful One's not here." And I don't want to let her down, so um I came on the show to help her. And whenever you're doing a live show, you're trying to find relevant things to talk about that are very interesting. Um, you know, they're just interesting, right? And in my half asleep state, the only thing I could think of that I could relate to what she had shown me was that I had chopped off my ponytail like a week ago. And for some reason, my brain thought that was a great story to go with. I Hate Morning says it was funny. Yeah, it was sort of funny. It was sort of funny. I felt bad though. I ruined her Halloween special, but I'm sure people tuned in anyway. All right. Well, we'll keep going. All right. How about this? Everyone, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to turn off the microphone and the camera. Let me just fix a couple of things, and I'll come back, and then we'll keep going. Okay? Because I wasn't expecting to keep going, but we'll take a 5 minute break, and I'll be back. Okay? I'll be back.
referred by the state to paragraph 2 of the indictment. How do you plead? You may be seated. Does the state have an opening statement to make at this time? You may proceed.
Opening statements are now about to begin with the prosecution.
I was muted.
First, you heard Caitlyn Armstrong rise a few moments
I told
ago
you,
and
we're not
plead
professionals.
not guilty to the
I
charges.
said we're going to watch a few
and
minutes
that's
of
going
this
to
and
allow
we're going
us
to
to
get going.
continue into the trial. Again, this is from the prosecution first, then the defense will have their chance to make an opening statement, and we will only be live streaming those two things. So again, just stay with us as we bring you those now live here on KXAM Live.
Yeah, so look, I'll show you. If you go like this, if you go like that, the sound comes back. I must have accidentally when I went on the break, and then when I came back, I didn't turn it back on. So if you don't see the light here on this, if this is not glowing, then yeah. I already know. Was she not listening? Did I not say it before? Oh, I was muted. Yeah, I know she's not going on. Yeah, it's okay. Thanks, Trish. I know. All right. I said we're going to watch a little bit of this and then we'll move on to another topic. This will go for a few minutes. I don't want to watch the entire hour. I don't think anyone wants to sit here on my channel and watch the entire hour, but we'll listen to a few minutes of the opening statement and then I'll get another story for you guys, okay? All right.
This case is like Anna Mariah Wilson. Everybody calls her Mo Wilson. Mo was an accomplished college skier from Vermont. A few years ago, she got into a sport called gravel racing. And about information about confront Caitlyn Armstrong. There's a surveillance camera with an audio portion to it.
Can you guys not hear it?
We'll play that for you. And you'll hear those screams. Those screams are followed by ah, ah.
Can you guys hear this audio? Like the guy speaking at the trial.
One to the side of the head that hits the index finger as it passes.
You guys, why is that thing muted? It's a little low. That's really weird, guys. I have it on like boosted audio, like fully boosted. I have it like the highest my browser booster thing will let it go.
Put a third shot right in Mo Wilson's heart.
Mm.
Good morning.
All right, hold on, guys. All right, I don't know what's going on with the audio on that particular website. It sounds really loud to me, but I've got really good headphones just here, and I guess the signal boosting is coming from my side. But I use a browser sound booster in the actual browser where I can really amp up the volume. It was set to 80%, and I never run it that high, and you guys were still saying it was really, really low. They did a CC to help. Well, that's a shame. Hold on.
Along with my co-counsel, Mr. Gonzalez, Ms. Stewart, Ms. Jimmy Sullivan,
Let me see if it comes on with it.
we intend to present to you approximately 40 witnesses.
Set to CC, but I'm not getting any subtitles.
We're going to start.
Yeah, but it's terrible. Look,
Information
it's not keeping up with what he's saying. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Unless I can find a better source, I don't want to run that and waste people's time. I'll look one more time and see if I can find a different source altogether. Maybe this was better. Hold on. Let me test it. Court TV's got one, so I'm going to try this and see if you guys can hear it better.
Oh, was an accomplished college skier from Vermont. A few years ago, she got into a sport called gravel racing. And in about 3 short years, she became one of the best in the world at it. On May 11th, 2022, at 9:15 p.m. here in Austin, Texas, the last thing Mo did on this earth was scream in terror. And you hear those screams. There's a surveillance camera with an audio portion to it. We'll play that for you. And you'll hear those screams. Those screams are followed by ah, ah, 2 gunshots. One to the front of the head, one to the side of the head that hits the index finger as it passes. You won't hear any more screams out there. 45 seconds. We intend to prove to you, you witness the next year, that after 4 or 5 seconds silence, Caitlyn Armstrong stood over Mo Wilson and put a 3rd shot right in Mo Wilson's heart. 9:15 p.m. Good morning. My name is Rick Jones. I represent the state of Texas. Along with my co-counsel, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Stewart, Ms. Jimmy Sullivan, Mr. Rob Drummond, who will join us at some point, we intend to present to you approximately 40 witnesses from this witness chair to give you evidence over the next 4 to 5 days. We're going to start by giving you information about 3 key players. Number 1, we know this. 25-year-old college grad from Vermont, up and coming pro gravel racer.
The audio is driving me crazy. It's like super quiet. I mean, the background noise is really loud, but him speaking is really quiet. Here's a link if you would like to watch it on Court TV and you would like to watch it through your own speakers at some point. Happy to do that. Yeah, so if you want to do that, we'll move on to the next story. This is a really interesting case, and if you need a trial that you need to sink your teeth into, I think this is probably a pretty good one. I mean, some people wanted a background on it. I can do that quickly before we move on. I've got another story lined up that I want to move to. So let me just find here. So this is from the, I'll use the Wikipedia page because at least that's more concise. But it says here, on the night of May 11th, 2022, professional cyclist Anna Mariah Mo Wilson was fatally shot at a friend's home in Austin, Texas. Police charged Caitlyn Marie Armstrong, a yoga teacher and realtor, with stalking and killing Wilson in the belief that the murder was the result of romantic jealousy ignited by Wilson's casual encounter with her boyfriend, pro cyclist Colin Strickland. Armstrong had spent 43 days at large prior to her capture in Costa Rica, where authorities say she had been trying to set up a new life. So that is the basis for the trial, basically. And those people are, hold on. Caitlyn Marie Armstrong is the one I think is on trial right now. So it'll be really, really interesting. And it says here, Caitlyn Armstrong grew up in Livernois, Michigan, and she graduated from a bunch of different schools, and she ended up as a yoga teacher and licensed realtor. Armstead was in a relationship with pro cyclist Colin Strickland. They briefly separated in the fall of 2021, by which point Strickland had met Wilson and began a brief romantic relationship with her. Armstrong and Strickland would later reconcile and resume their relationship. So the jealousy seems to have come from a break in their relationship where he had met Anna Mariah Wilson and had like a bit of a short relationship with her. So there you go. Mel Max says, I think Colin Strickland was a player. Shame on him. The defense is much better clarity. Go figure. Yeah, I've read a little bit of it, and I think that it's going to be a hard trial for the state. I think the defense is got some decent ideas, but we'll see. We'll see as it goes through. They were on a break. Danny Mitchell, a Friends reference. Kelly Dragonlord said she had plastic surgery to change her face. She also tried to escape last week when she went to a doctor's appointment. Yeah, I read about that. How wild, right? Plastic surgery to change her face. It's like something you see out of a gangster movie. How many people actually do that in real life while on the run? I don't know if I've heard of that many doing that. Yeah, as this trial gets underway, we will cover it a bit more, and I'm sure Trisha's going to cover it too. But I have a different story that I want to talk about. This one. I know Woos will be happy. Is it Woos that sent this in? Let me just check this. Just want to check I got the right person. No, it was Nanalana. Sorry. You two get me confused. It says 1 dead, 1 missing in collapse of Eastern Kentucky coal plant near Western Virginia border. Really, really unsettling. Here we go. See if we can play this video for you.
One man is dead and another man is missing after a coal prep plant collapsed last night. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says the men were taking equipment out of the idled coal preparation plant last night around 6:30 when the 11-story plant collapsed. One man died and his name has not been released yet. A rescue mission is underway to find the missing worker.
And that's basically what we've been doing all day. We're in under that structure and we're just trying to search all the voids with cameras, listening devices, just trying to see if we can get any idea of where that individual might be. But at this time, we have not located anything. And when we walked back down here, we were running a third dog through.
Martin County is in far eastern Kentucky near the West Virginia line. 24 skilled rescuers from Anchorage Middletown Fire and Louisville Fire are also assisting.
Really horrible. We've had our fair share of mine collapses in Australia with people being trapped. There was a real famous one about about 20 years ago now, where a bunch of guys got trapped in a collapse. I think one of their mates died in the initial collapse, and they rescued like 2 or 3 of them. I'll have to look it up, but it happened in Victoria down here. But that's a very big coal preparation plant. At least one worker was killed in the collapse of a 10-story coal preparation plant in eastern Kentucky Tuesday evening. Wow. 10 stories, that's huge. They said government Andy Beshear confirmed that one of the men trapped in the plant in Martin County has died. Search and rescue crews from across the state are helping look for the second worker believed still to be trapped. You know, I was reading about something similar to this last night, and I almost was going to do it today, but since this came up, I might talk about it a little bit. There was a pipe thing. Is it called? Hold on, I'll find it. I will find it here. Here. It says here, diving disaster, terrifying ordeal, 5 sucked into oil pipeline. Now, I read about this, and there's actually video of the guys getting sucked into the pipe. And these industrial accidents are just so horrifying. I wonder if we can find it. I'm just trying to find it, like a source for it. I cannot find it. But basically, what happened is they were trying to repair a pipe, and they all got sucked into the pipe, right? And being pulled down into the pipe, they were all very, very injured and beat up by their tools, them getting smashed against the walls. They tried to get back out of the pipe. Only one of them made it out and said, "I'm going to bring help. I'm going to get help. You know, I'll get you guys back out. You guys stay there if you're too injured. I'm going to get, other people to come and get you and all this." So one guy made it out. When he got out, the other workers were like, "No, no, no, we can't go back. It's too dangerous. Just leave them." And they left them there to perish in the pipe, even though they were still alive and still tapping on the pipe, asking to be like rescued. Apparently, they could audibly hear them banging on the side of the pipe for a number of hours until they all succumbed to the conditions and their injuries, and they were never rescued. And the company was, just didn't care. They were just like, "Oh, it's too dangerous. Who cares? We're not even going to try and mount a rescue mission. We're just going to leave them there." And I think it was like 4 of the men perished in the pipe, and only one dude made it out alive. It's really awful. You see something like this mine collapse. It's very similar. I'm hopeful they'll be able to find this one guy that's still trapped. We think and take for granted the job that these people do day in and day out to bring resources or oil or electricity. They're really dangerous jobs. When something goes wrong, it really, really badly goes wrong, like severely, and it costs people their lives. I really wish I could find the video of the guys in the pipe because it's really horrible. It's called the Paria diving accident, I think. Yeah, here. No, that's not it. I'll show you guys a little bit. It's not my channel though, but here.
Rishi
You
Nagasa,
can see these were the
Henry, and
guys.
Christopher Budram said the
And that's the
footage
size of
recovered
the
from
pipe
Floyd
that they got
Jr.'s
sucked
GoPro
into.
was
There's a hula
almost
hoop.
7 minutes long.
Look
Footage
at that.
recovered
All those guys, because of the force of the pressure, sucked them down into there, along with their tools and everything. It was really brutal. I was trying to see. Yeah, this is the audio here. They're sort of asking each other, "You all right?" One guy's got a broken leg. So they're sort of doing a head count, right? So he's got one guy's got a broken foot, one guy's got a broken leg.
3 hours.
And
Denny's for the different stakeholders.
this guy, I think, made it to the end of the pipe and was rescued by other rescue divers. He made it out, and like I said, once he got to the surface, he was like, "Go back for my mates. They're still down there. They're fine." Like one of them's just got a broken leg, and the other guy's got a broken foot, but they're okay. You can rescue them. They're alive. And no, they just said, "We're not going to do it." And they were already preparing death notices while they were still banging on that pipe down there, knowing that they were alive. The company was already addressing the family, saying, "We're sorry for your loss." Really, really brutal. So when I see stuff like this, coal collapse, I feel for the families, involved. It's a dangerous job. Someone has to do it, right? Otherwise, we can't have those resources. But yeah, awful. If you are interested in that and you want to know the full story, there was a really good one, and I can't remember whose channel it was on, but I can give you this link and you can watch it in full after my show. It's really insightful into what people go through in those type of situations. I just want to get rid of these links for a second, and I'll switch back to this one. So they're saying that in the one in Louisville, apparently special operation crews from Louisville area were sent to the scene to assist around 2 a.m., according to a written statement from Louisville Fire Captain Donovan Sims and Anchorage Middletown Fire and EMS spokesman Jordan Udis. The statement said the incident has prompted an immediate and coordinated rescue effort involving approximately 24 highly skilled rescuers from both departments who are currently on scene investigating, along with many others. Sorry, I could hear my audio going weird. Apparently it says here, Governor Andy Beshear says, "I have signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency in Martin County following the collapse of a coal preparation plant. 2 workers are trapped inside and a number of teams are working to rescue these individuals. The order mobilizes state resources to help." That's amazing. It really is. Let me see if I can find any new information on this. Collapse of Eastern Kentucky plant. Don't see any more news whether they've rescued him or not yet, but there's a bit of a video here.
In Kentucky, one man is dead and another trapped after an 11-story building collapsed in an abandoned coal mine. Not clear what condition the survivor is in, but rescue crews are working what is still considered a rescue mission. The building collapsed around 6:30 last night. The 2 men had been on the bottom floor helping to prepare it for demolition when they got trapped. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency, telling residents to prepare for tough news.
It already got me out. Here we go. Let me switch back to this. Yeah, did you see that, what it looked like? I heard in that one they were preparing it for demolition. So maybe they did, maybe something got weak on a foundation or something and it collapsed. That's just horrible. Wow, I hope they find the guy. I really do. I can't see any update whether there's any movement in if they've found him. The last update was from WLWT 4 hours ago. They're saying at least one worker. I don't see any kind of new information. Wow, there's some raw footage of the scene. Have a look at this. We saw a little bit of it in that newscast. Hold on. Holy moly. Look at this. I'll show it to you. Share this page. Watch this. Look at that thing. There's someone in there that's missing. And they've got to somehow find the guy. And this thing was apparently 10 stories high at the time before the collapse. And look at all this like metal work and like different corrugated iron, I think. At least it looks like corrugated iron. That's a huge job to try find that dude. I hope he's somewhere near an exit or an opening and not directly in the middle. If he's somewhere in that middle, it could be days before they find him. Kentucky, Harley. Yeah, brutal. You can see all the guys doing the work on it. You wouldn't know where to begin. You'd hope you could hear him or something, or maybe he's tapping on something and you could kind of pinpoint where he is. But look how little the guys are. They look like ants compared to the building. They look tiny compared to the actual structure. If we get more news on it, I will tell you about it for sure. I'll keep an eye on it. Marilyn Landis says they're death traps. Yeah. Laura G says the rescuers have to be careful not to trigger further collapses too. I bet. I mean, I couldn't do that job. Harley62 says my son was doing the Allmac in mines. He could bring in 20,000 a month. Wow. Wu says, did you hear about the case in Canberra where the defendants got off because the police sergeant lied under oath? No, I don't know that one. It was against 2 high-profile rugby players. You know, one of the stories we haven't talked about is Wu's. We spoke about it last Friday. The guy who was accused of sexually assaulting that girl in Parliament House now has another court case. You remember how we spoke about that individual who was supposed to be some high-profile guy? And he was like, doing a court case to keep his name a secret. Ended up being the same guy that was accused of rape by another woman in Parliament House like 3 years ago. Now he has another, same thing in Toowoomba. So that Toowoomba secret high-profile person is the same guy. Oh, you just want to scream when you hear that. Horrible. Oh, it was Latrell Mitchell? Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. I can see that. NRL stars Jack Wigton Wigton and Latrell Mitchell embraces court charges. There we go. They do like to go after the football players. Hold on, I do want to read about the Toowoomba one too. Yeah, Bruce Lehrman. I don't know if you guys know outside of Australia who this is, Bruce Lehrman. He was accused of, raping another woman in Parliament House after a night out at a nearby establishment, and that case collapsed. I think on a hung jury, or it was going to be a hung jury, or something like that. The case collapsed, and now he is that secret individual we were talking about a couple of weeks ago on Nights with Ping, who was fighting to keep his name suppressed from the media. And we were all saying, who could it be that would be so interested in keeping their name out of the papers that they would go through this? This guy would be interested in it, because he just got off on the other one due to sort of like a technicality, sort of a couple of other reasons. And he's got some big lawsuits lined up against media companies and a few other things for calling him a rapist. And he's saying, well, it was never proven in a court of law, and you should retract that. There's no proof, and he's trying to get money out of it. Well, now it says here Bruce Lehman has denied raping a woman in Toowoomba in 2021. His legal team now has access to the alleged victim's phone records as the case continues committal proceedings. Lawyers for the rape-accused former Liberal staffer Bruce Lehman have been granted 6 weeks to review hundreds of phone records handed over by police. Lehman, 28, is accused of raping a woman twice at Toowoomba, west of Brisbane in October 2021, and the charges are in committal process to determine if there are sufficient grounds to proceed to a trial. The case had a brief mention in Toowoomba Magistrates Court on Wednesday, which was the first time the charges had been heard since the Queensland Supreme Court ruled late last week that Lehman could be publicly identified. So, yeah, this guy, and it says here, the former federal minister staffer was the subject of a national media attention after being charged with the rape of 24-year-old Brittany Higgins in the office of then Defence Minister Linda Reynolds at Parliament House in March 2019, while both were employed by the senator. So I don't know if this is one of these cases where someone is jumping on the pylon, or this guy's actually just a friggin' creep with women. I guess we'll find out, but his track history doesn't shine a good light on him at all. And that's right, Woos. It collapsed because a juror brought in outside information on some sort of legal process or something to do with the trial, and they were told they weren't allowed to bring in outside information at all. And a foreman found it, and the jury got dispelled. Wu says the second assault happened 2 weeks after he was charged with Brittany Higgins' assault. Jeez, what a stand-up guy. Apparently, can't be left alone around women. I mean, at first I gave him the benefit of the doubt that there may have been something there, but now you got another woman coming out of the woodwork to say that you also forced yourself on her. I mean, women don't want to do that. They don't want to go through the embarrassment of having to go to court and this and that. I mean, I find it very difficult to believe him. Very difficult. And I don't know what kind of excuse he's going to come up with this time. The girl says she raped him. He raped her twice. So that's not like an accident or anything. If it's proven in a court of law in Australia. Harley says, Sienna, same here. It's a good thing we don't get detention by peeing. I will give you detention if you want. I can do such things. Yeah. Geez. If this ends up making it to trial, I'll cover it. Because, it'll be a big story down here, unfortunately. All right. One more. And then we will go. But this is interesting from Woos. NRL stars Jack Whiten and Latrell Mitchell have spoken outside a Canberra court thanking those who supported them over the past 10 months after all charges against the pair were dismissed. It says here, both Wigton and Mitchell were charged with fighting in a public place and ignoring an exclusion order. Mr. Mitchell was charged with a fray and resisting police, but today those charges were dismissed after the police case collapsed. The players, who are cousins, embraced each other when Magistrate Jane Campbell dismissed the case in the ACT Magistrates Court. She also ordered ACT policing to pay both players' legal costs. Wow. This could and should have been avoided, she said. They said we wrote to the DPP a number of times to try get meetings to ask them why this was going ahead. I personally called Neil Gaham the head of the ACT police. I went to him and saw him. I showed him footage and I read him the police statement of facts and I said, I can't see how these marry. Please tell me if I'm missing something. I couldn't believe it. I don't think that's the last ACT police and the DPP will have heard of this. So apparently the CCTV footage says body cam and CCTV footage show no incident occurred inside the club. So it seems like they were possibly targeted because they were high profile football players, which, you know, probably happens a lot. It says yesterday the court viewed a series of snippets of CCTV and body cam vision that showed Sergeant Power had not seen any altercation inside the club, which Sergeant Power alleged had occurred when Mr. Whiten and Mr. Whiten or Wigton was out of his sight for a few seconds. But his lawyer produced footage of him at the time in question showing there was no incident. Sergeant Power conceded the evidence in his notebook was different to his statement, but said that rather than lying, it was his memory that had let him down. I did not dream up anything. I believed I saw it. He said, Of course you did, buddy. Of course you did. It's all right. He said, Sorry, Jack. If that's what happened, I apologize, mate. I don't think an apology is enough when you just drag someone through a court case. Is that what we do in this country? We just drag people through court cases and apologize and, you know, sorry for wasting your time and all the media articles. And I think it needs a bit more than a sorry. Wu says, but you should have seen the video of the police jumping on Mitchell. Yeah, I think he gets targeted a lot, unfortunately. He has done some silly things himself in the past. And I think because of that, sometimes he gets targeted by other people. I can't see the video, unfortunately, or the CCTV body. Oh, here. We can watch it here. Let's have a look at what the police say happened and what actually happened. Let's have a look.
Grab his details. You grab me, bro. Sorry?
What is going on?
He was pushing and shoving with someone downstairs.
Well, you need 12 guards to go get him out and push and shove. We're all mates, man.
It doesn't matter.
Sounds like they're just being bullheads. Look at them. They're supposed to be mates and stuff.
Stop resisting!
Stop resisting.
Please! Mitchell! I haven't busted nothing! Hey, relax. Please! My shoulders, please!
You know, I really do hate that when sometimes police are rough on people who have previous injuries like shoulder surgeries or stuff like that, or, you know, stuff with their elbow or shoulder, and the police are like just reefing on it. Latrell Mitchell has had previous surgeries on his shoulder. I think he had some injury on it in the past. So I wouldn't, I think it's the right player. So you can see just like how many police they had jump on that guy. We can maybe see it again. Look at this. You can just see. I know there is a lot of like hangers on around. You can see all the high vis people up the top. Where's that moment? There. You can see like the police are almost like outgunned if there was a big scuffle, but it sounded like they were being rough in the footage too. See how many people that are not in police high vis? You do have a lot of people surrounding those police, and they really don't like that. But in this other part, you can see like 400 cops. So where is it? Up here? Like in this part, he says, "Oh, you need 11 police to kick me out." So, but look, apparently it never happened, and the charges were dropped. So justice for all today. Gambler says, anyone listening to the trial for the alleged murder by eye drops. Didn't we speak about that one the other day? Is that Jesse Kazuski? Kazuski? Yeah. Kazeski? Is that one? Franklin woman accused of murder? Of poisoning friend? Is that the one you're talking about? This one? Day 8 of eye drop murder trial. Franklin woman accused of poisoning friend. She is accused of killing a family friend by poisoning her with eye drops. She was the victim's carer and was one of only 2 people named in her will. What a breach of trust after someone was so kind to put you in their will. I'll read what Gambler says. Oh, was how long until the statement or press conference? If we can get a press conference, I'll stay on. Let me have a look. Or can you send me the source where you saw that information? And if we can find it, I'll stay on and we'll watch the press conference. Here. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas. Dean Thomas was the cop who did the original press conference for this particular case back in July or August. So it says here, Dean Thomas from Victoria Police Homicide Squad will issue a statement at Spencer Street Police Station around 1 p.m. He will not take any questions. Interesting. A Victoria Police spokesman confirmed that a warrant had been executed. I wonder if we will find out if there's any charges going to be laid against her. Because it's interesting that he's going to release a statement at 1 p.m. but not take any questions. How long away? Wait, that's now, right? That's like 4 minutes ago. Where can we watch this? Where can we watch this? I'm going to try find it, see if we can find a live shot of it, but trying to find maybe Vic Police, Vic Pol. Here. There's the old statement. Just trying to see if there's a better one on their website. Let me check the Vic Pol Facebook. Nope. I guess we're going to have to wait on the media to do it. On live now, ping ABC News. Okay.
We will provide updates as the day progresses. Over the last 3 months, this investigation has been subject to incredibly intense levels of public scrutiny and curiosity. I cannot think of another investigation that has generated this level of media and public interest, not only here in Victoria, but also nationally and internationally. I think it's particularly important that we keep in mind that at the heart of this, 3 people have lost their lives. These are three people who, by all accounts, were much beloved in their communities and are greatly missed by their loved ones. These deaths also continue to have a significant impact on the media, on the immediate families of those involved, and I ask that people are particularly mindful of this over the coming days. In smaller communities such as Leongatha and Currumbara, a tragedy such as this can reverberate for years to come. I know people have many questions in relation to this matter and will be hopeful that I can provide answers to them today. However, it's not that simple. Today's arrest is just the next step in what has been a complex and thorough investigation by Homicide Squad detectives, and one that is not yet over. While we do want to provide timely updates about this matter, it is critical that doing this does not adversely impact the current investigation or any future processes. I encourage people to be particularly mindful of unnecessary speculation and the sharing of misinformation. While police are doing everything we can to ensure this investigation is not impacted by this, again I stress at the heart of these matters are the recent deaths of 3 people and families and loved ones who are trying to come to terms with this. Finally, I'd like to thank members of the public who have reached out and provided information in relation to this incident. I'll again ask if there is anyone out there that has relevant information in relation to this matter, that they contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or contact their nearest police station. Thank you.
All right, that is Detective Inspector Dean Thomas of the Homicide Squad in Victoria making a statement there. They had foreshadowed that they would not be taking questions from journalists at this media event. But there, Dean Thomas did confirm that search warrant had been executed of Erin Patterson's property. That search is still going. The police are using technology detector dogs in the search. Once the search at the property is completed, Dean Thomas there said that Erin Patterson will be interviewed by the Homicide Squad investigators. That's expected to happen later today. Police say they will provide more updates, but they have noted the intense media and public interest in this incident nationally and internationally, calling it a very complex and thorough investigation, saying they're being very careful not to adversely affect their work. And I think
So there you go. Very interesting. They're saying once that search is complete, then they will interview her. That interview process could go on for a very long time. Could go through the night and into tomorrow morning. I've seen that more than a few times with Victorian police, but that is the only update we are going to get today. Unless she is charged, then we might get an update late today. But there you go. You heard it from Dean Thomas, Detective Inspector from Victoria's Police Homicide Squad. Now, you look at what's going on, it's still running through the Homicide Squad. So if they thought this was a mistake, an accident or whatever, I probably would have suspected it to close out and go through a different department by now. But the fact the Homicide Squad's still very interested in this and still continuing, they might see something there. So very interesting. I would say that's probably the last update we'll get today. Oh, that's annoying. Just after I got out of ABC, just after I went to ABC, they put up a Sky News one on this page. Look, just after I got out of it, see, and then they killed it. Oh, 0292881027. Who is that? No, it's News Corp. Yeah, okay, there's the update. We were very quick to get on it. Thanks, Woos. I appreciate it. Now, I had a beeping come through while I was watching that video, which means it was probably a donation. I just want to check. This is my friend Lise, but I don't know what her chat name is. Otherwise, I would use that. But Lise, I know you sent the donation a few weeks ago. I'm really appreciative. It's very kind of you, and this channel really does survive on that. I'm actually trying to move more into full time over the next like 6 months or so. Really trying to build it up and move into that. So, and do more stuff like we're doing today, staying on for hours and hours and hours, and cover things live like the mushroom press conferences and things like that. And your donation really does help contribute to that and allow me to do during the day 3-hour live shows like we're doing today. So I am very, very appreciative, Lise, and to the other donators who do help this channel. It really, really does help and allow us to do things like we're doing today. So very, very grateful. Gambler says, I counted something like 15 credit cards in her name. I believe Jessie signed up for most. One time she got caught trying to open a bank account in her mother's name. Oh, that's that eyedrop trial. Very interesting. Harley62 says, Ping, sorry, I might have asked before. So you're live Wednesdays at 9 p.m. No, we only went early today because of the breaking news on Erin Patterson. That's the only reason we went live early today. If that news hadn't have broken, I probably would have gone after Trish had she done a live show today. But other than that, I wouldn't have. So yeah, I very much appreciate it. I don't think we're going to get much more other than that now. I can have a quick look on the Daily Mail and see if they have a full transcript because I think we missed a little bit of it. Let me just have a look. It said she's been arrested. No charges have been laid yet. Yeah, not a lot of new information. Just trying to see if there's anything else before we go. Doesn't seem to be. It might be a while. Might be a while until we get a transcript of that press conference. Normally they have them up pretty quick, but today they seem to be a bit sluggish. No, I don't see one yet. Same sort of information they had before. All right, I think we're going to wrap up for the night. I've had a lot of fun. We've been here almost 3 hours. So I really appreciate you sticking with me, and I hope it was an interesting show tonight. I really do. And if you want to see more shows like this, let me know. More long shows like this, 3 hours. Is it 3 hours we did or 2 hours? 2 hours? We did 2 hours? Okay. Trish and Insightful One will be back tomorrow, I guess. And if anything happens, if they lay charges in Erin Patterson, I will come back on. I will jump straight back in, and I will set up a new live show, and I'll put a community post up and let you guys all know. But other than that, I just don't think we're going to get too much more today, unless that happens. I don't see anything else here either. No. Yeah, this is interesting actually. Look here. the death cap mushroom toxin is so potent that you don't even need to eat part of the mushroom for it to be lethal. Simply consuming liquid the mushrooms were cooked in can be enough to kill people. So that was a question we'd all wondered for a long time, and then it was answered in the 60 Minutes show a while ago. It just says a woman will now be interviewed by police and the investigation remains ongoing. I would be surprised if we don't see charges by tomorrow. I think this was sort of their end game. I don't think they would bother going through all this unless they had a roadmap that they would like to continue on. So, yeah. All right. Unless there's anything else people want me to talk about quickly, but if not, we might give you guys an early mark. You guys can have an early mark and go home early tonight. I'm sure there's another live show you guys can watch. Yeah, I think we're going to get out of here. Thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. It was interesting doing a middle of the day show. Feels weird. I've got so many hours left in my day. What do I do with them? Thanks to Moonlight View for coming in and moderating the chat. I appreciate you all. I really do. I'm working very, very hard on this channel. As you guys can see, I do a live show almost every single day between here and Web Sleuths. I'm on almost every night and trying very, very hard to make this work. I really am. And thank you to the people who subscribe. We're at 504 subscribers now. I really appreciate it. That is awesome and means a lot. It really does. Harley says, thank you, Ping. Were you here this afternoon? How do we know you're live? So you should get a notification if you're subscribed and you have the bell on all. If not, you can always check my Twitter. My Twitter, if I can get the link for it. I often post on my Twitter that I am going live. That wasn't smart. Hold on. I actually clicked out of this live show by accident. There we go. There's the link to my Twitter. If I often make community posts on this channel's community section too, and you'll be able to find out there. So either between Twitter, notifications, or the community section, that's how you find out when the next show is going to be and at what time. But if Trish is on, I normally go after her. So use that as a guide. Hey, Beth B. Good to see you. It's great to see Beth. Harley says, I'll have to get Twitter. I don't have it. I feel rusted. No, that's all right. Twitter's pretty easy to use. Someone's yelling outside my house. I don't know who that is. Where's that coming from? There's some weird noise outside my house. Yeah, good night, everyone. Love you all. Have a great evening. And yeah, if something else happens, I'll be back, okay? All right. Thanks to all the people who support the show, the replay crew people, leave a comment. And to the people who donate to this channel, it means a lot. And to the people who come here every single night and hang out in the chat and view the show, I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are amazing. And until next time, I'll see you later. My name's Ping, live from Melbourne for Nights with Ping. Good night.